So in this section, we're solving quadratic equations. That's what we want to be able to do. Now, in the last video, they had it factored for us, and so we didn't have to do it. But, you know, a lot of times we're going to have to do our own factoring. So what we do, you see this equation in example 2. You've got the 3c squared, and then on the right of the equal sign, you have 10c minus 8. Well, we need everything to be on one side. So I'm going to write 3c squared. Then I'm going to bring the 10c to the other side, so it makes it minus 10c, so it's going over there. And then plus 8, it's going over there. And then that equals 0. Now, if you're having a little trouble with that, you could write it out. Here's the original equation. You could say I'm subtracting 10c from both sides, and then I'm adding 8 to both sides. And so you get this part, which is what we have over here. And then on the right-hand side, we just have 0. So that's how it's working. You know, you can take a little more time with that, but you'll get used to that eventually. Okay, now we don't have multiplication on the left. You can't use the zero product property if you don't have multiplication. And so we have to turn that polynomial on the left, we have to turn that into products, multiplication. And so I've got to think, okay, how am I gonna factor this? Well, I could use the AC method. So sometimes the AC method's a little tricky, and I'll go ahead and do that for you so you can see it. Take 3 times 8, which is 24. So I need two numbers that multiply to be 24, but add to be negative 10. So I'm thinking of numbers, multiply by 24, add be negative 10. If I can't think of them right off, just start at the beginning. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. Okay, now one of them has to be, oh, they both have to be negative, don't they? Okay, sorry. They both have to be negative because I'm getting a positive 24, so, and a negative 10. So it looks like that combination right there, negative 4 and negative 6. When I do the AC method, I would keep the first term. The middle term splits into 2 pieces. So I have now a negative 4c and a negative 6c. That makes the, that's where the negative 10c is split apart. So now we have 4 terms, so we can use the idea of grouping. So I'm going to make my little dotted line here, and then I'm going to factor out in the first 2 terms, they have a common factor of c. And then in the back, I'm going to have to factor out a negative because of that sign right there. And the common factor they have is 2. So I factor out 2. And then I have left 3c. It's just going to change into minus because I took out a negative. So don't forget to do that. That's the tricky part. Okay, so our grouping's working very nicely because that parenthesis or that binomial and that binomial are the same. So that means our grouping worked. We're doing it right. Yay. And so the whole polynomial factors into one factor of 3c minus 4, and the other factor is going to be c minus 2. So we took those terms that we had those 3 terms that were being added and subtracted up here at the beginning, and now we've changed it into a multiplication thing. We've factored the polynomial, and so I have stuff times stuff. So now I have like A here and B here, and I can use that zero product property, the old ZPP. Okay, so I say 2 things. 1, either 3c minus 4 equals 0, so this factor right here, or, and a lot of times I write the word or, you don't have to, but c minus 2 equals 0. The other factor, one of the 2 factors has to equal 0. Okay, so now we have those little baby equations, those linear equations, and we're going to solve those. Add 4 to both sides. This is probably getting easier, so if you don't write all the steps, that's okay. C equals 4/3. And over here, we add 2 to both sides, and we get C equals 2. So again, you'll probably be putting your answers in WebAssign, but for me, I'm going to write it in set notation. And I don't care what order you write the answers in, but they usually put the smaller one first. But it doesn't matter to me. Okay, so you get 2 answers in this case, 4/3, and 2 is the other answer.